Oh, there we go. I can't ever figure out how to get the mic working. Okay, anyways. So before I go to sleep, I thought, might as well, live stream, and record what I wanted to explain for the, JP test, the side quest. So, for anybody who's watching, I run these, Aonahara Japanese class side quests, and I decided to, on a whim, send out 3 different assignments. So you can't see, but I'm actually opening up a different file right now. I decided to send out 3 different side quests. So let me show you what they look like. There was an easy, a medium, and a hard level. Okay. So this is an easier level. Okay, just 1 page. Then the medium level. This one. And then this one. And then there was an advanced level. This one. And also this one. So I gave everybody about maybe 3 weeks to translate this. and I didn't ask them to typeset or anything. I just asked them to translate, and I specifically asked them to try to keep it as accurate as possible. So some people took that quite literally. Depending on the person, I decided to push them a little bit more. But I actually thought it was pretty fun to do, and wow, this hold on, let me change the background music. Really bothering me that it doesn't loop really well. Sorry, it's probably really loud. Okay, better. Let's see how well that goes. So anyways, before I go to sleep, I was thinking I'll start recording these. Beginner first. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. These are all from Twitter, by the way, and I'm probably going to... I've finished it. I've done it myself and typesetted it. I thought might as well post it on Twitter. I got permission. Right, this is Okayu and Korone's kind of little interaction together. 今日は温かタピオカに挑戦。楽しみ。ブブブ。This is a cell phone. Samu. Right? Some interesting side comments. Tonton is her feet tapping against the floor. Honestly, I didn't know how to read this. Yeah, I don't remember how to read this. Dehana じゃないと思うけど、もうDehanaをくじかないでよね。コロネから誰と。これはね、I think a lot of people got stuck on this and didn't know how to translate this. よし行くぞ。誰と一人ぼっちっち。一人ぼっちっち this part too, right? Kind of interesting seeing how people interpreted this. Can't forget the titles on the cell phones. 犬神コロネ。猫又おかゆ。一人なんだ。So I didn't think this would give a lot of people trouble, but it did. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to also show everybody's responses, anonymized. And yeah, I'll also talk about what people wrote and some interesting things that I saw. So I also think this is really interesting because I get to see how people think. And it's always really interesting to me how people interpret different lines in a different way. Way different than how I would have interpreted it. I don't know who's watching. Maybe there's like a total of 2 people watching. If you're watching, I guess you can tell me if think we should look at my quote unquote answer key first, or if we should look at the different submissions. What should we look at? I'll also say that disclaimer, I'm not the best translator out there. Obviously, maybe not obviously, but I personally think there's a lot of room for me to grow, and there's plenty of other translators that are far superior to me that I know. Some people get paid for it that I know. So obviously, everything that I say and do is not true. In fact, in the advanced one, I was corrected by one of the people trying it. Attempting it, I mean. So that was pretty cool. I think that's always really refreshing. Sure, I will look at the different submissions. So let's switch over to Firefox. So this beginner one was a puny virgin level. route. This was a quest. So I will just make this a little bit bigger. So 今日はあったかタピオカに挑戦楽しみ. So I added the transcription and then the furigana as well because I assume that at the puny version level, if people are watching this to check their answers, they wouldn't really know how to read kanji. Tanoshimi, I thought that you should at least know this, so I didn't, put furigana on kyo, right? So I'm gonna not put furigana. I didn't put furigana on the ones that I think you should know, but the ones I don't think you should know, you might not know. Or, what am I trying to say? The ones that I think that you may not know, and understandably not know, I put furigana on it. So today I'll try warm tapioca. This will be fun. Today's goal is to get some warm tapioca. Can't wait. So this is pretty accurate. One interesting thing that I thought about in passing is, do you translate this as tapioca? Do you translate this as bubble tea? And I think that's actually a regional difference. In America, you would almost always hear bubble tea, even though people do say tapioca, right? But when they say tapioca, they're usually referring to the actual tapioca balls in America, at least. In Japan, obviously, and in many different countries, they would call that drink tapioca. Right? In Japan, they would call it tapioca. バブルティーじゃないからね。バブルティーだったら違う飲み物になるのかな。バブルティーっていうの違う中国から来た飲み物があるって聞いたんだけど、どうかな。Yeah, I've heard boba tea as well. Definitely interchangeable in America. Another one is interpretation of tanoshimi, right? So there's two interpretations here. It's this will be fun or it'll be fun, and then there's also can't wait. Can't wait. I actually prefer the latter, can't wait. So I believe I used that one. Maybe I'm wrong. Only one person attempted to translate the samu, which is really sad, but that's how it is. So I color coded this. So the same colors are the same people. The person who translated this also wrote this. This is the phone noise. Her feet. Oh, it is debana. Oh, debana o jikanai de yo ne. This is an expression, also called an idiom. So debana o jikanai de yo ne. So if I open up something like jisho, right? Debana o kujiku. Oh, did I get that transcript wrong? I probably did. Kujikanai de yo ne. That makes more sense. To spoil someone's start, to kill someone's enthusiasm, or to take the wind out of someone's sails. So it's essentially someone's winding up with excitement but has been deflated, right? Or somebody's winding up to start running and they got blue balled or cock blocked, I guess, in a way, right? So don't ruin my fun is not bad. I think there's a lot of different ways to interpret this. Won't let this spoil my mood. There's all sorts of different ways. I was just getting started. This is a very liberal, attempt at this. I thought it was okay. A text message. I hope it isn't anything too important. I think this is okay because when you have idioms, the point of translation is to not translate it literally. Because if you were to translate this literally, what would you say? You would say, don't ruin my nose, my pointed nose, right? Or my open nose, something along those lines, and that doesn't make any sense. So this is a great example of what I call what's it called? Something equivalence, functional equivalence. That's what it's called. You need to find an equivalent, culturally relevant similar phrase that has the same spirit as the original raw source. Okay, I'm probably butchering the definition of functional equivalence, but that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, I think you get what I mean. I thought any of these were fine. Inugami Kronen, this is self-explanatory. So this one is also interesting. Some people took 2 or 3 attempts to get this right. Dareto, with who? With who? Are you with? ... You're alone? I like this one. With whom? So the person who wrote with whom, I said maybe with who is better, and then they said, well, that's not grammatically correct. And it turns out they're right. But at the same time, I've never, if I was speaking speech, right, and this is a casual text message, so you can assume that it would follow speech patterns. I would never say with whom. I would say with who. And so I searched this up, and it turns out that for Native Americans or Native English speakers, more like, I believe it was Native English speakers, not specifically U.S. Americans, the incorrect grammatical form with who is interchangeably used. And that is actually recorded, and it's written on some sort of authoritative, I don't know, some website that I found. And I think that matches what I would say is true in real life. Yeah. I'm gonna keep on going. Panel 3. So this is the, let me switch back. This is the right. So it's this panel here. This one is shows. So I really like this comic as a beginner comic because I can talk so much about it. So this is an expression of how Japanese people represent silence, or exasperated silence, or surprised silence, different moods of silence in comic form. This is what I really like about translating comics, actually, manga, because you can see the different interpretations that a mangaka uses for all sorts of different nonverbal speech. Japanese in particular is really, really guilty of this, where they really try to verbalize in text nonverbal speech. And it's frustrating, but it's also very interesting and fun to work with. So what how would I interpret this? So how I interpret this is the very beginning. As soon as I saw it, this is a surprised gasp that is cut off, right? Or like a oh shit kind of moment, right? But essentially it's a word that's cut off. That's what this would be, right? It's not an audible gasp, it's not an audible exclamation. It is cut off intentionally. That's what the long bar would symbolizes. So if we go back to translations, I took a lot of different attempts because I thought that this can be quite liberal as well. Just like how in Japanese there are different ways that they will creatively figure this out. I think that in English you can take creative liberties. I would have actually taken this out. I hate, this is a pet peeve of mine, but anyways, I let it go. I really like this. I like this. One person, obviously this is strike through, but this is funny. Or just exclamation mark and question marks. I thought this was okay. Oh, I just saw the comment. So, Auntie, just to let you know, I am using a voice modulator. However, and you'll have to take my word for this. My actual voice is pretty low. I'm not changing it that much. I'm just changing the format, if you know what that is in audio engineering, because I do podcasting for my work, and I'd rather not associate my IRL self with this because, well, you know, this thing over here, you know, this very cute model is not something that probably my workplace would approve of. Anyways, let me continue. Yosh ikuzo, right? I mean, this is pretty simple. Some people had trouble with it, but it's fine. Some people took it very literally where they put a tilde. I think that's honestly fine. Some people don't like it. I think it's fine. It looks okay. Some people decided to make it more like common English text and replaced it with an ellipsis and an exclamation mark at the end, or maybe even a comma. I think all of those are okay. So there's a repeat of the previous. Toribochichi. So honestly, I like these two the most. I'm alone and just me, myself, and I. I think these two have the same tone as this, right? This is from Okayu, so this is definitely how Okayu would talk. And you have to kind of... what I was hoping that people would do was to try to replicate the same kind of whimsical, you know, lighthearted kind of speech that she has, right? I know I'm going really deep into this. I wanted to do it for the beginner one because it's really short. Ding, okay. I'm not talking so much about the sound effects, but I personally really like sound effects and like to try to figure it out, even if it's frustrating. So this last panel, let me show you the raws, really stumped a lot of people, and it's because people interpret it in a very different way. When I see this, right, I immediately think of it as Korone is responding to the text message. So when she says Hitori nanda, she's talking about Okayu, right? She's talking about the fact that Okayu said, I'm going alone, and she says, oh, okay, I see you're going alone. Some people interpret it as, I guess I'm alone, right? As in, she herself is alone, which I think is an interesting take. I don't think it's correct. But I understand it, right? I don't think it's correct because there's too many visual cues here that suggest that she is talking about Korone. I mean, Okayu, right? However, there can always be artistic liberties here, right? Because this is all art. So it could even be a double meaning. So I was even wondering when I started seeing those submissions if anybody would leave it vague to make it a double meaning, where it could be left intentionally vague to see if, you know, to sort of leave it to the reader who she's talking about. Maybe Korone is responding and saying, oh, I guess she is going alone. And that implies that, oh, I feel really alone. I feel lonely. So honestly, this one is not bad, right? But even the ones like this, you know, the addition of the ellipsis already implies that. So if you say you're all alone, it could even imply that she wants to say at the end, I can go too, right? Or so she's alone. And then maybe this implies that there's a next phrase that she would say, I should go with her. Something along those lines, right? So that double implication is not that hard to create if you're looking for it. I'm not creative enough to be able to say, like, how would I make that even more obvious, but still subtle? Is that an oxymoron? Maybe it is. Anyways, I think these are all okay. Okay, so with that said, let's look at what I wrote. And again, I want a disclaimer that, you know, it's not like there is an answer key, right? Translation is an art. It's a skilled art, and you'll get better and better at it, and people will agree or disagree with what you do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to playing with the layers here. I'm gonna lower the cleaning. Oh, actually, I'll show you what I did first. So let me close out all the panels. So I cleaned this. Okay. I got rid of the sound effects here and here, and I got rid of the ding. I redrew this a little bit. It's kind of sloppy a little bit, but whatever. I did that, and I redrew this. I think that's it. I didn't attempt to redraw this because I couldn't be bothered. The reason why is because I could definitely redraw this, even though I can't redraw. Like, it's not a skill that I really have. It's not that hard to learn. I could redraw this as well, but this one is, yeah, no, I'm not gonna attempt that. So I thought it would be weird if I redrew this and translate it, but not this one. So I decided to leave it as is, clean it like this, and then add some English translated effects right next to them. So I believe I did that. So I'm gonna leave it, there we go, I did. So I'm gonna change it. Whoops, I don't know what this is doing here. Good catch. So I'm gonna lower the opacity on the cleaning side so that you can see the Japanese underneath a little bit. So here I'm gonna try out some hot bubble tea today, can't wait. I chose to go with bubble tea because I'm American, or I'm located in America. Why not? 今日はあったかタピオカに挑戦楽しみ。Right? Yeah. I think it's I chose a can't wait. Yeah. I decided to go with cold instead of a burr because that's literally what she says, and I think in this case it doesn't look that weird, right? Samu. Right? I think it's fine. I chose to go for an actual sound effect that simulates the boo 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 boo, right? Not a ding, but a boo 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 boo. Right? It's definitely a vibration sound. I asked some people about this if they think zzz is okay. I got yes, so I'm gonna go with that. You could go with buzz, right? But that's kind of boring. Yeah, and then tap. Typeset it. I actually enjoy the typesetting on this one. Come on, just when I was gonna be on my way. So this is the interpretation that I came up with. Just when I was gonna be on my way. I thought that was the most natural sounding in English. With who? So this is also very liberal, and I think that people may interpret this totally differently and may even disagree with this interpretation, but I chose a gulp because when you see it in text in English, right? When you see gulp, right? You know they're not saying that, right? So if you think of like Marvel or DC Comics, I honestly, to be honest, haven't read so many, but I think if you see a gulp in there, you know it's not a audible sound effect. And I think the effect that it has is similar. I know that one is very different from any other submissions. This one too, swipe. So a lot of people didn't get swipe. Show that. Oh, I guess one person got it, but a lot of people could tap, or two people, I guess. A lot of people didn't translate it, and this is definitely not a tap, right? Susu is like a quick light action, right? So you could even have a character moving left to right. that would be like a like a ninja, right? That would be a right? How do I know? I just know. I can't ever explain, like, if you watch more like Japanese shows and anime, I think you'll get used to it. Not that I watch anime a lot. I just grew up watching Japanese television, so yeah. Okay, let's go. This one's simple. I chose 2 A's because it says Yosh. Okay, so instead of putting a tilde, I went for 2 A's. I thought 3 A's may be possible. It just seems a little bit too long to me. Okay. So I like so I made care to cut this off a little bit. You know, in the original, it's like this too. Right? That's the kind of details that's not that hard to do, but it's really appreciated by people like me who find those kind of stuff. The ding, maybe it's a little bit too close. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Where did the ding go? Ah, there it is. Maybe I move it down a little bit. Oh, where the hell is this? Ah, there's a D. Ah, I see. It covers the text message box. That's why I put it here. Right. In that case, I'll just leave it like this, and then move this. So why do I not put the I over here? Because then it would look weird, right? Ding, ding, I think makes more sense. It also is better balance between the P and the Kong, right? So that's what I decided to do. Some people may do it differently. This is what I came up with. With who? I'm going alone. So I chose the alone one as well. I thought that was, that's what I went with. So I was really happy when somebody else said that too. So, she's going alone, huh? So some people really don't like ellipses in the beginning. I think that there are cases when it's really not necessary, and there are cases when it's helpful. In this case, another consideration is how big is your space that you're working with for typesetting, right? You don't want punctuations to be floating on a line by itself as much as possible. So that's a rule, a design rule. So since I could comfortably put it in the same line, I thought this was okay. If you really don't like it, you know, that's fine too. It just seems a little bit too empty to me because the bubble is so big. If I look at the raws, right? It's because all of these dots are here, and Japanese love to use these dot ones. And actually, there's a great article about the usage of ellipsis in Japanese, and there's a translator that wrote about it. Let's see if I can quickly find it. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I cannot find it. Maybe I will do a quick, oh, sorry, I'm just checking one more thing to see if it's there. Oh, I found it. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is great. I encourage you all to read this. Legends of Localization. Everything that they have, not everything they have is that great in my opinion, but this is a great article to read. I thought it was super educational. Very, very interesting. So that's enough about Ellipsis. She's going alone, huh? So I left it like that too. Okay, so that's the first one. So I'm gonna be submitting this to the artist. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go with the medium level one. The medium level one, I had a lot of fun with this one. Ayame and Subaru interactions. Okay. Tick. Ayame なんだか楽しそうだな。うん。今日レッスンいっぱい頑張ってたから、みおちゃんにすごく褒めてもらったんだ。Honestly, the more time I spend in my life, the more it becomes harder to read just hiragana, which is really dumb. It's because I don't read enough Japanese, I guess. 歌もダンスもとっても得意になったね。上手になったね。へへへ。くる。そっか、あやめはミオシャ大好きだからな。でもさ、スバルもミオシャのこと大好きだから、そんな話聞いちゃうとちょっと焼きもち焼いちゃうな。スバルも構ってほしいなって。Like, I don't know why, but I can't figure out these splits between ひらがな。あやめが嬉しいならいっか。そっか、みおちゃんはみんなのママだから。じゃあみおちゃんに頼んでスバルにもいっぱい優しくしてもらって、よし。そしたら今度は焼きもち焼いちゃうかも。でもそしたら今度はヨガ焼きもち焼いちゃうかも。焼きもち焼いちゃう is well, I'll get to that later. だったらスバルちょっとこっち来てこっち来て is like Corona accent. Anyways, こっち来てかがんで。わかった、これでいいか？みおちゃんは取られたくないんだけど、スバルが寂しいのも嫌だから、よし。I almost missed this よし。ヨがママになってよししてあげる。だからスバルは寂しくないよ。はよ。I thought this was clever. So dumb, but I thought it was clever. ありがとうな、あやめママ。おかげでスバル元気いっぱいだ。So it's very wholesome. Very, very simple comic. If you're wondering, right? If you're a Japanese learner and you're wondering what level of sophistication is this Japanese, I would say this is like, and don't feel bad. I would say this is about 5th grade level of Japanese, right? By 5th grade, you're learning a lot of kanji. I would say you're at the par of N3 in terms of kanji, and I'm not so sure about how the grammar works in JLPT. But by 5th grade, you know how to speak, properly to many people. 敬語も分かってるし、丁寧語も分かってるし、different verb tenses. 5th graders, they can talk properly. Yeah, so what is your opinion on mirroring pages vertically so that the TL version reads left to right, given that there's no issues with SFX that needs redrawing, for example? Not sure if it makes it easier to read or if people are just used to reading TL manga right to left in English anyways. I've always read manga right to left, so when it's flipped, it bothers me a lot. If it's Japanese source, it should read right to left. I think it's kind of weird to mirror it. It's not what the artist intended anyways. I know that even like legal scanlation companies have started incorporating a right to left scheme, and so they have a little like page at the end, right, on the left side that says like you're reading the wrong way or something like that. I think that's how it should be done, right? A bigger contentious point is the usage of bubble sizes. In Japanese, especially in manga, they will write Japanese up to down, right? Whereas in English, we almost never do that. And that makes it so that the original art has bubbles that are very tall and skinny, which is a pain for typesetters. And I don't know if that came up in this one necessarily too much because there's so many combined bubbles like this. This one, right? The amount of space that you have here for English is so small, for example. Or, yeah, that's about it. Even these you can figure it out with English. But this is a great example. I think in the advanced one there's a couple. This is the same artist, by the way, these two. The medium and the advanced. So yeah, that was a tangent to a tangent, but I hope that answers your question. So this one got the most amount of attempts from the Japanese class. And honestly speaking, I thought the part that would trip people up the most is I thought this part. Okay. This, like this continuation. But it wasn't. Instead, it was this. And I didn't realize why until I really started looking at people's answers and considering it. But this has the most complicated grammatical structure in the entire part. レッスンいっぱい頑張ってたら、みおちゃんにすごく褒めてもらったんだ。頑張っていたらでしょ、This is just a shortened いたら。頑張ってたら、褒めてもらったんだ。頑張っていたら褒めてもらったんだ。So this is really tricky. Was really tricky for a lot of people. It's I had to actually search up the grammatical term for this, but actually let me I don't remember what it was. Let me see my DMs that I had with people. And I believe I am right here on this. But where'd it go? Did I send that to? Oh, I definitely sent it to Pulse. Yeah, so it's a past perfect continuous phrase with a conditional mixed in. So it's past perfect continuous, okay, in terms of the tense, with a conditional statement. A conditional is if, then, right? You can actually get around the conditional if you word it in a certain way. But for most people, it seemed like they were easier considering taking this as a condition. So, いっぱい頑張っていたら if, and then then, みおちゃんにすごく褒めてもらったんだ。You can actually flip this, right? You can even say this. You can even say, みおちゃんにすごく褒められたんだ。レッスンいっぱい頑張っていたら。Right? That would be okay. It's a bit more clunky, but I would say that for verbal speech, it's not that weird. That said, my bunpo is pretty bad, so I might be wrong there. 日本語も全然使ってないからね、家族以外では。だから家族の中でも文法が下手でも分かってくれるから、それと日本語喋ってる間、英語をいつも使うから、like English, Japlish, or something like that. 例えば、あるいは、 今日からライブラリに行くとかさ、これからこれからアポインメント取るから何々何々とかそういうのばっかり使うから、英語を混ぜて、例えば日本語で単語が出てこなかったらさ、自然に家族と話してると英語に変わるから、逆に日本語の方がもっともっとひどくなっちゃって単語は使わなかったらね、とにかく単語も文法もちょっと下手になってきてるんだけど、翻訳するのもその表情を塞ぐために練習してるっていうか、そういう理由でもある、こういうのをやるのもね。They messed up some murder case clues in it because yeah, exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, there are situations in the manga, right, where they depend on that, and if they suck, I mean the company sucks and the editors are not great, the editors in this case meaning the quality control people, in actual localization companies, the editor is usually the person who is actually editing the script as a proofreader, but also often the person who makes sure that quality is maintained or that consistency is maintained. So stuff like the hand issue should have been caught there. Obviously they didn't. So let's look at the answer attempts. So I called this one the Buff Chad level. First one's Puny Virgin. This is Buff Chad. Is it up here? Yeah, Buff Chad. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of entries here on this one. Ayame なんだか嬉しそうだな. Ayame looks happy today. I actually wouldn't have taken this one. So the red one I was pretty lazy at. It was the first one. I probably should have sent it back. I wouldn't leave this as a observer, or I guess third person. I would make it directly Subaru talking to Ayame. So these look fine. Okay. いや、レッスンいっぱい頑張ってたから、みおちゃんにすごく褒めてもらったんだ。After I worked so hard on today's lesson, I received so much praise from Mio. I got praised a lot by Mio-chan because I had been doing my best in my lessons. Whenever I'm doing my best in lessons, Mio always gives me a lot of praise. So this is flipped. Since I have been working really hard on my lesson, Mio complimented me a lot for it. Since I did my best in the lessons today, I received lots of compliments from Mio-chan. Because I have been working hard on my lessons, I got a lot of praises from Mio. So I read all of these out because they're all different. At some point, you know, I'm getting diminishing returns with people attempting to get the right thing when there is, again, there's no ground truth to this, right? This is all translation. What I was looking for is if they were going for the accurate structure, which is this one first, then this one. I was looking for a because or a since, or some sort of connector, right? And then I sent it back if they had said like, she is praising me a lot, as in continuous, not past. I wanted it to be past, so praised, or since I had been working. Sorry. Okay, I got confused. Sorry. I'm looking at this one. This is the correct one. いっぱい頑張ってたら. Since I had been working really hard, since I did my best in my lessons today, because I had been working hard on my lesson. So I would actually have sent this back, okay, first of all. Because this is a 頑張ってたら. This is a past this is a past tense that's completely complete, right? So after I worked so hard, so she is not working hard anymore. That has been done, right? The thing I like about this is it leaves it up to the viewer. I don't know how to explain English grammar, but like I had been working really hard seems more accurate to me. Okay. Since I did my best in my lessons today, this also. I mean, okay, now that I say it, maybe this is okay. Maybe it's after that trips me up, but I think it's technically okay. So, anyways, it has to be passed, right? And then the second line has to be I received so much praise. This one has to be complete, right? すごく褒めてもらったんだ, right? That's done and over with. だいっぱい頑張ってたら, right? It's something that happened in the past but could be going on still, right? So it's past perfect continuous. That's the tense. I received lots of compliments, right? I received or I got a lot. Right? Complimented me, right? I received. So yeah, that's what I was looking for, and it took people a couple of tries to get this. I think one person attempted like 5 times. These two are different. These two are different because they inverted it, right? みおちゃんにすごく褒めてもらったんだ is coming first. Well, oh wow, I'm so getting confused. I guess it's just this one. I got praised a lot by Mio-chan, right? So praised, so is done because I had been doing my lesson. So it's literally the same as like this one or this one. It's just inverted, right? This actually might flow better, right, in the end. But it does have a tinge of it seeming like a run-on sentence. Oh, it is. Sorry. That is my bad. How do I fix that? Here we go. That's better. Yeah. So I think you guys get what I mean. This one wasn't any problem. SFX. Only one person translated Sokka, which is really sad. You should definitely translate this. This is not a sound effect. あやめはミオシャ大好きだからな。だからな。でもさ、スバルもミオシャのこと大好きだから、そんな話聞いちゃうと、ちょっとやきもち焼いちゃうな。So you could try to incorporate these two lines, right? You could even tag all of these 3 and incorporate them together. So this, the person in the black font, right? You really do like her after all, ... But then again, I also really like Mio. Hearing something like that, I just can't help but be a bit jealous. I thought this was really, really well done. Okay. I think the green one, it's because you love Mio so much, right? But still, I love Mio-chan as well, so hearing that story makes me a little jealous. On the page, it actually looks totally fine. Here, it seems a little bit clunky, but on the page, it looks totally fine and reads really well. It's because you love Mio so much. So the use of an exclamation mark here is... I mean, I thought it was okay. But I wouldn't use an exclamation mark here. Because the bar here obviously denotes that she's almost trailing off a na and making it sound like inquisitive. Not, I guess inquisitive is a way to... Oh, hi Visco. I guess inquisitive is a way to explain it. I don't know. It's like past midnight. I can't think. But yeah, I wouldn't have used exclamation mark, but I think it's fine. It's because you love Mio so much. But you know, since I always also love Mio very much, whenever I hear that kind of story, I get a little jealous. So this one, I don't know why, but it seemed a little bit too wordy. Um, I think it's because of the repeat very much, so much. Yeah, but it's technically right. You really love Mio, don't you? But you know I also love Mio, and hearing your story, it makes me... I missed the S here. I missed that. But it makes me feel a little jealous, right? That's... So yeah, I think it's interesting to see all the different ways that people interpret this. At least I think so. Okay. So yakimochi yaichauna is essentially means I'm feeling jealous, right? Very, very specific. Yeah. That is not normal. This is like net speak or like girl speak. I forgot which one it was. I never heard it before. I just searched it up. That's totally okay. You know, if you're a translator and you have to use a dictionary or search something up, you should be doing that. No translator, no matter how good you are, will know everything. That's just impossible. That's being extremely arrogant. Okay, let me keep going. スバルも構ってほしいなって. Okay, so I would have sent this back. I would have sent this back because you have to incorporate the 欲しいなって. So this is ending these four lines, right? But so you can interpret this as スバルも構ってほしいな. So the tone changes with this, right? If it was this, it would be a very different, or actually, it's more like, if it was this, it would be a very different tone, right? Adding the na means that she has some sort of, like that. She's repressing her desire, and almost like a little bit. Oh, let me move the chat. This is so annoying. She's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so late. She's in Korean. Okay, don't ask me why I know the Korean term for this, but in Korean it would be called ashiwo. It's like a regret, right? A little bit of a regret because something didn't happen, right? That's the tone that she's exhibiting here, right? So this is not bad. It's a bit wordy. I thought this was okay because referring to herself in third person and then saying also wants attention, almost like is taking a proverbial arrow and pointing it to herself. I also want Mio to pay attention to me. I thought that was okay. I want to be pampered too. I like the word pamper for kamatte hoshii. Yeah. まあ、あやめが嬉しいならいっか. Some people had really trouble with this, and I'm not so sure why. But yeah. I don't know if I really like this one. Then so be it. Then so be it seems a little bit harsh toned in Japanese. I mean, in English. But yeah. Yeah. Why do I know the Korean? Because I spent a year living in Korea. I didn't learn any Korean. Like, I know like how to order food. That's about it. Because I didn't spend time learning Korean, but I caught all these like different Korean phrases that I thought was interesting. And ashiwo was one that I thought was an interesting Korean phrase that doesn't really have an English equivalent. So that's why I always remember it in my head. It's like kuyashi in Japanese, but it's slightly different. very versatile. そっか、みおちゃんはみんなのママだからな。Yeah, it's very interesting how there's different variety here. I mean, they're all pretty accurate. Or correct, at least. This really gets down to what is the best phrasing in English, and it becomes not a translation activity, but a proofreading activity. じゃあ、みおちゃんに頼んで、スバルにもしよし、いっぱい優しくしてもらって。Okay, so some people interpret this incorrectly and said, じゃあ、みおちゃんに頼んで、スバルにも。Some people said something along the lines of, and on their first iteration, some said something like, then Subaru should ask Mio to blah 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 blah, which is incorrect. Some people interpreted this as I'll ask Mio and Subaru as well, which is incorrect. Right? So this is referring to, this is Ayame talking, and this is referring to her saying, I'm going to ask Mio-chan to do the same for Subaru, right? Nimo. So I think this is probably the tricky part. And you can almost think of it as this sentence continues into the next line, right? いっぱい優しくしてもらって、いっぱい優しくさせるのをみおちゃんに頼む。Right? That's what's happening here. あやめがみおちゃんにあやめがみおちゃんにいっぱい優しくしてください。スバルにいっぱい優しくしてくださいと頼んでる。That's basically what's happening here. So yeah. I liked meal tenderness. I think that's a good one. This person here, the black, I thought it was acceptable, but they basically took out this line, right? Yosh yosh. This is definitely there, right? Sniffles. I don't know why somebody said squeeze. I don't know why they didn't detect that. Yeah. でもそしたら今度は湯が焼き餅焼いちゃうと思う。Yeah, so I should have said this back. This is incorrect. But if that were to happen, then I'll probably be the one who'd be jealous, right? But then I might get jealous myself. This is totally fine. But then this time I might be jealous. Then this time I might get jealous. I would say that get is a better choice than be. And then somebody even said, but then again, which I thought was really nice. This time I might be the one who will feel blazingly jealous. Blazingly jealous. This is an interesting use of words. So I'll be honest, because I want to show it off. The orange is Pose, and I thought he actually did really well. So I liked this. I thought this was great, and he got it on the first line, I think. This was also good. This was this was good. I liked the use of pamper. He did really well. And I thought the use of but then again here is pretty on point. So I like this better than but if that's the case. Or but then this time. But then again is a really short way of saying the exact same thing. So it was really good. Oh, Pose is here. Hi. だったら, wow, this was like across the board the same for everybody, which is pretty cool. スバルちょっとこっち来てかがんで. Okay. So Subaru, come here for a second, lean down, bend over. So I think I I might have ended up using the term bend down, or I think I might have said lean down instead of bend over, because bend over just makes me think of like, I don't know, prison or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like drop the soap and you bend over. Anyways, yeah. Come here for a bit is fine too, honestly. Very liberal, but has the same effect. And you could even make this bigger when you're typesetting and put some effects on it, because this is definitely a shout. わかった、これでいいか? Alright, this is good. Gotcha, this is good. H fam, is this okay? I decided to say that's fine. I liked it. Okay. I don't want みおちゃんは取られたくないけど、スバルが寂しいのも嫌だから、ヨがママになってよしよししてあげる。Okay. I mean, this is pretty standard, and people didn't have too much trouble with this, which I thought was impressed. I was impressed by, because I thought it could get pretty complicated. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I think I'll just skip over this. So Ayame Mama, the interpretation of this was different for everybody, which I thought was interesting. Some people said Ayame Mami, Mama Ayame, Ayame Mama, Ayame Mama, Ayame Mama. I would go with this. Yeah. So and it seems like most people said that too. おかげでSubaru genki by that. So some people didn't have the おかげで, and after me pointing that out, usually they added it properly. So that's a because of you part, right? Some people didn't put it intentionally, and I said at that time I said it was okay. I liked Pulse's. Sorry, y'all. Thanks to you, I am now full of gank. That's pretty good. Yeah. Was the red line wrong for the I don't want you to take? I don't want to take Mia away. Yeah, this is wrong. So, like I said, the red lines, a lot of them I should have probably sent back. I think I was just... So what was happening was people would send me, wow, my model's neck broke. Well, I am actually doing that in real life. What was I saying? Right, people submitted, oh wow, I can't think. I need to go to sleep soon. People submitted DMs of the translations, and they had 3 major attempts. For some of them, I allow them to make some quick edits multiple times, but for most of the people, they had 3 attempts to submit, to provide a submission. That way I wouldn't go crazy trying to evaluate it so many times with so many people. But essentially, yeah, they sent the DM, and then we often talked about it, or I reviewed it, and then they sent another version, and so on and so forth. And I'm explaining that because when I was doing the red one, I think I was just really tired looking at the DMs, and I didn't realize that there's so many issues. Yes, that took an actual effort to say coherently. So I need to go to sleep soon. I guess I'll finish up the medium. The advanced one, it has a lot to talk about, so I'll do that some other day. Okay. Let me open it up. There we go. One more. Okay. Step, step, step. I was almost going to put cute Ayame steps, but it didn't look that great. So yeah. Ayame seemed really happy. I did this on a stream, by the way, a few weeks ago. I got praised a lot by Mio while I had been putting my all into my lessons. So I actually flipped it. I flipped it because I thought it sounds better in English. I got praised a lot by Mio while I had been putting my all into my lessons. So praised is done. I got praised a lot by Mio while I had been putting my all into my lessons. So putting my all into is a phrase that I thought was better than some people's. What some people said. So this is, to me, it was super easy to translate this. So so that's why I was really surprised by how tricky, how much difficulty people were having. But I get it. Mai, you've gotten so good at both dancing and singing. The Mai is also a stylistic option, right? It's Mio, so yes. Tihi, I decided to go with Tihi for ehehe, and I do not regret it. I'm not changing it. Yes, I think it's accurate. Twirl, twirl, I see. You sure do love Myosha after all. But you know, I also like Myosha, and if you tell me something like that, it'll make me feel a bit jealous. So if you read that out, it reads really naturally, right? That's what I'm trying to go for. I'll feel like I want to get praised too, right? So if you remember, Japanese is something really similar, right? スバルも構ってほしいなって。Right? Yeah. Well, if it makes Ayame happy, then I guess it's fine. Mio is everyone's mama. Or this is actually trailing off. I thought it would continue, but it's Mio is everyone's mama. Dot 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 dot. Okay. Then I'll ask Mio to also do the same for Subaru. She'll receive lots of love, but then I might get jealous myself. So these are all separated sentences, but they definitely are one after another in terms of the trail of thought, the train of thought. What am I trying to say? The train of thought. Yeah, train of thought makes sense, right? That's an expression in English. Yeah, there. Sniffle is what I went with. Thinking. If that's the case, Subaru, come over real quick and bend over. So I said, okay, so I didn't say lean over, I said bend over. The reason why I decided to say bend over is because that's what literally she does. She does bend over. She doesn't just lean over or come over. Yeah, literally bends over. So I think that might be why I went with bend over. Anyways, I'm saying the same thing over and over again now because I am so tired. Sure, is this okay? Pat. There. Ruffle. I don't want Mio to be taken away from me, but I also don't want Subaru to feel lonely either. Dot. So I'll be your mama and praise you myself. You won't feel lonely with me. Thank you, Ayame Mama. Thanks to you, I feel great. I did not put full of genk. That's not what I said. Although it is pretty based. Okay, so yeah, maybe bend down is better. Yeah, sure, why not? Moa is the thought bubbles. So if this was animated, it would be like the thought bubble, this whole big thought bubble, like forming. Right? and then it would like probably like pan over to the thought bubbles and show those happening. Right? That's a moa moa sound. Okay, I put thinking because that's what it is. It's referring to the thought bubbles. So this is an example of a sound effect that is not a sound. So Japanese have gidogo, gidogo だったっけ? Giongo, giongo and giseigo. I think it is. But essentially, there are a type of onomatopoeic effects that are sound-based, like an actual sound, like buzz. And then there are some that describe states, like states of being, like necha necha. この団子はネチャネチャしてる。ネチャネチャしてる。That means that this dango is very sticky, right? So there's an onomatopoeic phrasing for stickiness. And that would go under a well, yeah. Anyways, I think you get the point. Yeah, moatto. That's a good point. Yes, it is a sound effect for sounding something fogging up, right? So the heat spreading is actually correct, right? It's like, think of like heat spreading and kind of like the vapor spreading and kind of clouding up vision. So, or more, literally making a cloud, right? So it actually is correct. Yeah. Anyways, this was fun, actually, to work on, and it was fun explaining all this. I am every second that I spend awake, I feel more dead. So I think I will stop there, and I'll just do this again tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. Wait, tomorrow is Monday. I cannot do it tomorrow. I will be... Actually, yeah, let me plug that. Wait, this is a beginner level? Lol. This is supposed to say medium level. So I'm gonna plug what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow, which is I'm gonna do my own little monologue ramble about Holo Rewind and what I thought about it. I let the team members talk for the 3 podcasts, and I think it was great. They should talk. I just wanted to address some other things, such as things that we ran out of time on, or things we didn't talk about, and answer any other questions that came in that we just couldn't get around to. So I think Holos and Illidan and I will be doing that. That's it for tonight. I am going to sleep. Otsuchima.